What's up everyone, this is Bobby Douglas and welcome to another video. So with the NBA draft rapidly approaching, I decided to officially start my big board series. So for this, I'll take a look at my top 75 prospects and offer quick breakdowns of what I think about each player. I'll divide this series into 5 parts, starting today with those ranked 61 through 75, and concluding closer to draft day with my top 15 prospects in this year's class. As always, if you have any disagreements, which I am about 1000% sure you all will, feel free to comment below, leave a dislike, do whatever you need to showcase your opinions. I'm open to all of it. So with that mentioned, let's get right into my official 2020 NBA Draft Big Board. Coming in at number 75, I have Seton Hall guard Myles Powell. I like Powell because of his volume scoring ability, as he averaged 21 points a game this past season for the Pirates and was the unquestioned leader of their offense. My main concern with Powell, however, is that I'm not sure how he can score efficiently enough to warrant playing time in the NBA. He only shot 31% from 3 and 39.8% from the floor, and he's only 6'2" and showed limited defensive upside during his 4-year college career. At 74, I have Mississippi State big man Reggie Perry. I like Reggie because of his post skill. He has a big and strong frame at 6'10", 250 pounds, and he uses that to his advantage, as he can body smaller defenders out of his way and get easy baskets. This also helps him on the glass, where Perry averaged 10 a game for the Bulldogs this past season. My major concern with Perry is that I just think he's a positional dinosaur. He's pretty slow-footed defensively, and while he showed improvement in both outside shooting volume and accuracy from his freshman to sophomore year, I don't really buy him as anything more than a down-low bruiser, which has depreciated in value in the modern NBA. At 73, I have New Mexico State wing TREVELIN Queen. I like Queen because of his seamless NBA fit. He's a solid wing defender who can guard multiple positions, and he also showed his ability to score at all 3 levels, as he averaged 13.2 points a game last season. My concern with Queen, though, is that I'm just not sure the physical gifts are fully there. He's a 4-year college guy, and I don't really see him thriving on an NBA roster enough to warrant drafting him. He does everything well, just not one thing well enough. At 72, I have Moravian Prep's Josh Hall. Hall was another guy who bucked the college trend and took a prep year to prepare for the NBA draft. I really like Hall because of his frame and skill set. He's 6'9" and really fluid offensively. He's got an awesome off-the-dribble jumper, and everything looks in control when you watch him play. My major concern with Hall is that he doesn't really offer much off the ball at this stage in his development. He tends to look unengaged at times at both ends of the floor, and he isn't close to the NBA in terms of his body. He's really going to need a few years to develop before he's ready to compete in the NBA, and that's why I have him so low. Coming in at 71, I have Vanderbilt's SABEN Lee. I like Lee's aggression on both ends of the floor. On offense, he's shown to be a fearless driver and gets himself rewarded with free throws often. Defensively, he boasts a 6'8" wingspan that allows him to disrupt passing lanes and force turnovers. My main worry with Lee comes at the offensive end. In his 3 years at Vanderbilt, he hovered around 30% from the three-point line, and at 6'2" with those shooting marks, I'm just skeptical that he can find his way on an NBA floor that values size and shooting, which are 2 of Lee's biggest deficiencies. At 70, I have Kenyon Martin Jr. Like Josh Hall, Martin also took the prep year route, playing for IMG Academy's post-grad squad this past season. Martin is an absolute freak of an athlete. You'll often see him rise up for poster-worthy dunks and blocks that will leave your jaw hanging. My worry with Martin, though, is his overall skill development. He struggled with turnovers and shot consistency during his high school career, and while his combine shooting numbers offer encouragement, I can't buy this development until I see it against high-level competition. But Martin isn't a bad chunk of marble to start with if you're an NBA GM. At 69, I'll bring in William & Mary big man Nathan Knight. Knight has been a late riser on my board because of his offensive skills and improved frame. He was a tad doughy during his time at W&M, but this offseason he really looks to have spent a lot of time on his body, and his workout highlights showcase an improved lateral quickness and fluidity to his game. I still worry about if these improvements will hold up on an NBA floor, though. Admittedly, his shooting touch may not be there either, as he was only a 30% three-point shooter this past season. For me, Knight is rising because of the eye test, but there are still plenty of valid concerns about his usefulness on an NBA floor. Coming in at 68 is Washington State guard CJ ELLEBY. Admittedly, this one could make me look a little bit stupid. ELLEBY averaged 20 points a game this year and close to 8 rebounds a game while also showing legitimate NBA scoring ability. His percentages were lower than you'd like to see, but ELLEBY has an extremely encouraging frame and skill set that I think is worth betting on in the NBA. I do worry about his overall feel for the game, though. He was prone to taking questionable shots and forcing actions that led to a lot of turnovers and a lower field goal percentage. At 67, I have Nevada guard Jalen Harris. I really like Jalen Harris because of his volume scoring ability. To me, he screams off the bench microwave, as he averaged around 22 points a game last year on solid percentages from around the floor. Despite being so low, I think Harris is probably one of the more comfortable scorers in this class. I do, however, worry about his overall impact in a reduced role. He won't be the focal point of any NBA offense, obviously, and I'm not sure if there's any other part of his game that gets him on an NBA roster, as his defensive and off-ball effort at Nevada was questionable at best. At 66, I have Utah State guard Sam Merrill. Merrill was one of the best shooters and overall scorers in college basketball this past season, and his ability to get hot from behind the three-point line is up there with the best in the NBA. He displays an overall craftiness on both ends of the floor that NBA teams should love. My concerns with Merrill are primarily athletic. He's functionally a decent athlete, but I'm not sure if his savvy playstyle can offset the athletic disadvantages he'll face in the NBA to make him a solid contributor. If the shooting doesn't translate, I'm not really sure what he'll offer. At 65, I have Yam Madar. This one might get some blowback, as many people thought I snubbed him from my sleepers video. I like Madar's dog mentality. I think he's a fearless player on both ends. Defensively, he doesn't give opposing guards an inch, and he'll terrorize players with his quick decision-making on offense. He has a solid feel for the game that allows him to create driving lanes for himself and open shots for his teammates. My main concern with Madar is his outside shot, which has shown improvement but not NBA readiness at this stage in his development. At 6'2", it's hard for me to imagine him as an NBA player if that shot doesn't improve. At 64, I have Florida State guard Trent Forrest. I love Forrest because of his outstanding defense. This guy is a menace on the ball due to his length, and his seasoned playing style allows him to be in the right position defensively 99% of the time. He has a sixth sense that I'm not sure most guys in this class can even come close to possessing. The concern will come offensively for Forrest. He's shown decent flashes of being a playmaker at FSU, but he still has difficulty reading the floor at times, as he averaged 3 turnovers compared to his 4 assists a game this past season. His shooting is also a major concern, as he was only able to knock down 28.4% of his threes his senior year. Will his incredible defense ever be able to outweigh his offensive deficiencies? That's my main question. 63rd on my board is St. Mary's guard Jordan Ford. Ford averaged close to 22 points on 49% shooting and 41% from 3 this past season, and I just really buy his savviness when it comes to the offensive end of the floor. He plays under control, but also quick enough to make decisions in the nick of time. He's got a great in-between game as well, as a floater has been a nice weapon of choice for him during his college career. Off the dribble or spot up, Ford can be efficient in a variety of settings. My concerns with Ford are his defensive upside and his overall lack of athleticism. Ford is slight in build, which will hurt him defensively, and he also has a low release on his jump shot, which might hurt in terms of getting clean looks, as he doesn't have blow-by speed. At 62, I have Xavier wing Najee Marshall. My main appeal with Marshall is his versatility. Defensively, he was solid for Xavier, as his 6'7" frame allowed him to defend multiple positions, and offensively he showed flashes as a playmaker, as he would often bring the ball up the floor and run a bit of point guard. His scoring ability is also pretty nice, as Marshall averaged close to 17 points a game this past season. My main worry with Marshall is the three-point shot. He only knocked down around 29% of his shots from beyond the arc, and while his stroke looks good from a mechanics perspective, I just can't fully buy in with those types of numbers. Coming in at 61 is Oregon guard Peyton Pritchard. The appeal with Pritchard is obvious. He was a 4-year starter at Oregon who averaged 21 points and 6 assists for the Ducks this past season, and his defense was also solid for someone of his build. The guy just has a dog mentality that jumps off the screen. I liked Pritchard as a college player, but I'm just worried his athletic deficiencies might hinder his NBA chances. He's got every intangible, every shooting metric, every attitude that the NBA loves, but at 6'2" with a short wingspan, it's hard for me to envision long-term success in the NBA for him. So that concludes part 1 of the Douglas Big Board. If you don't want to miss any of the following volumes of the Big Board reveal, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you can keep up to date. If you have any suggestions, disagreements, criticisms, whatever, make sure you comment below. Remember, I respond to every comment I receive, as I love having conversations with all you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all for part 2.